All right, so we're going to try this again, but today we're going to do a shape that probably a little bit more simple, right? We're going to do a pencil, and we're going to do it in a new method on how to create a custom brush. So let's go ahead and head over to Illustrator. All right, again, I'm just in a 1000 by 1000 pixel canvas. All right, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to start off with a rectangle. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and make this. Doesn't really matter the size as long as it's a rectangle. Okay, we're going to go ahead and color this in. Again, you can make this pencil any color that you want. I'm going to go with standard pencil color. All right, so I'm going to go with this here. I'm going to remove the stroke. Okay. I'm just going to make a copy of this. Holding Alt, I'm going to just drag this down to create a thinner line. This is going to be a shadow, kind of just to kind of give that pencil a little bit of depth. So going from your original color, right, you can just kind of go downwards, change the shading on that. I'm going to go ahead and just make a copy of that and put that there. Okay. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy. Select it all, make a copy. Okay. And again, holding Alt, I'm going to bring this in, make it a little bit shorter. I'm going to put this on one side. They don't have to connect, not with today's method. And then I'm going to make a copy and put it on the other side. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to create another rectangle because this is going to be the end of my pencil. So we'll make this that silver. And just make sure that it's aligned correctly over your stuff here. So that we should have something like this. And then we'll do one more rectangle. And this one we'll do fairly here. And we're not going to go very much. Okay, using direct selection, I'm going to only select these two anchor points. I'm going to bring this down, and then I'm going to color this pink just to give us our eraser. Okay. Then I will take this again, and I'm going to just make some thin lines to give again some depth here. We'll go down just a little bit. All right, I'll do that. It's not perfect, but that will work for what we are doing here. Okay. And then I'm going to go over and go to this side. I'm going to take my pencil. We'll come up to this top anchor point. And we'll go somewhere to where we get this midpoint. Then we'll come down to this anchor point and work our way up here again. This will be the tip of our pencil, so we'll give this a nice kind of tannish color. Okay. All right, now using our pen tool, we'll pick our point here, somewhere along this point. Doesn't necessarily have to be anywhere specific. I'm just going to do this, holding shift to make a straight line. I'll go down. I'm going to make this black. Okay, give it no fill and a black stroke. And we'll go to effects. We're going to distort and transform, zigzag. And you can bring this down somewhere about 3, 4, whatever you would like there. Okay, once we've done that, the object, expand appearance. Okay, and we're going to select our triangle and our zigzag line. Shift M to create or to open up our shape builder tool. Hold Alt, get rid of the edges here. And then make sure that your color flips back here, and then we'll create a nice tip for our item there. Okay, now this part's important. Okay, so we're going to select this first section, everything in that first section. We're going to hit group, select this middle section, hit group, select this last section, hit group. Okay, so now we got to open up our swatches panel. Okay, our swatches here. Again, if you don't have your swatches window, you find swatches. Okay, you can open that up. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag this into my swatch tiles. Okay, I'll take this, drag that to my swatch tiles, and take this and drag into my swatch tiles. Okay. All right, so now we can close our swatch and we're going to open up our brushes. Okay, again, if you don't have your brushes, F5 or Windows brushes. All right, we're not going to drag anything here. We're going to hit this button here, the new brush. We're going to do a new pattern brush. We're going to click OK. All right, we're going to name this pencil. All right, and here we're going to have some points that we need to kind of fix in here, right? This was important, why dragging those swatches was important for us. So we're going to need to have our midpoint. So this one here. Okay, that's going to be this middle portion of your pencil. Okay. Then you're going to take your curve points here. Yeah, you just hit auto. Auto center should work for this one. That'll give you this area here. And we're going to go with our end point. Our end should be our pencil here. And again, we can test this, and if it doesn't work the way we need it to, we can always kind of work with that. Okay, so this is kind of the start here. All right, so this one works best with not loopings, but we can try to do some. And we'll notice that here my points are backwards, right? So I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to double click this, and I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to go here and here. Now that we switched them, we'll take the brush, and we should be able to create this point. Now, I really wish that this point would stay straight, but it won't for whatever reason that I haven't got to just yet, but we'll figure that out. So if you notice again, we can hit the scale here. We go down to about 20. All right, to give us that thinner line. And then you can increase it with your stroke. And then let's look at what it looks like with a loop here. So, and that looks fairly decent, right? We can always go in here. Fix this up. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to find a blackboard background or some type of school background. All right. And once you got your chalkboard on there, we'll go ahead and just play around with the brush here. You can do a couple different sizes here. That'll be great. All right, so once you have your design here, you'll go ahead and just make sure that you do trim view just to look at it. Then let's go ahead and file, export as. Make sure that your artboards are selected so it doesn't put everything on the outside, and go ahead and export that for your project today. This should work. Hopefully it works. If we have issues, we'll try to get to it and fix it. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments or get with me and I'll try to help you out as best I can. All right, deuce.